All right. Hello and welcome everybody to Cal Cairo Live. This is our last broadcast of the year. Hopefully everyone will be able to survive without us during the holiday season. So thanks so much for everybody tuning in this year and all of that kind of stuff. But I wanted to make a few announcements before we get going and try to give away some money and that kind of thing. You just got the TWA delivered to your inboxes, so make sure you're paying attention to that. There's some important information there about electing potential political action committee representatives. And then, so you got to vote for people, or put your name in for people that you want to vote for. So make sure you're paying attention to that, because that's something that's going to be important, I think, in the upcoming year. We got a lot happening with respect to the Uber initiative. Hopefully you guys have been paying attention to what's happening. Uber's trying to eliminate our ability to take care of people. We've got a lot happening with animal chiropractic this year, right on the precipice of actually getting that animal chiropractic law passed. So some important stuff coming down the wire. We've been working hard at fair pay legislation. So that's another thing that I really want you guys to be plugged in with. You know, please reach out to your friends if they're not members, if they're not political action committee contributors, because that's the key to the whole deal, is having a unified front, being able to go into the legislature and tell them, you know, what we're doing, why we're doing it. All of that kind of information is so important, you know, in our advocacy efforts and just in representing you in the legislature. It's critical that we have, you know, people come on board and support just standing up for chiropractic. You need somebody in those rooms, or we need somebody in those rooms. I can tell you right now, I just went to the Podiatric Association event 2 nights ago, and there's still a lot of conjecture, you know, especially with younger doctors. That was kind of interesting to me. Got a lot of pushback from younger doctors about chiropractic and our place and our education. And, you know, I feel like if it wasn't for me standing up for what we do and why we do it, they would have left with a different opinion about chiropractic. And so that's something that I think, you know, I want to continue to talk with people more and more about. I wanted to remind you of our upcoming events. We have our Seaside Symposium, March 20th through 21st. That's going to be in Monterey. That's going to be a great event. That venue was awesome. There's some really cool places to go out in downtown Monterey and have dinner and things of that nature. So make sure you get plugged in for that. That's coming up. Our legislative day is scheduled for April 14th. Again, this is going to be critical, I think, on many levels, animal chiropractic and things of that nature. We have our sports symposium going on May 1st and 2nd this year. So those the sports symposium is going to be separate from the Seaside Symposium. Great sports related content there. We have our PI event coming up June 27th. That's always been very popular as well. We're bringing back the pediatric conference next year, August 28th and 29th. And then we're going to finish up the year super strong at the fall conference, November 12th and 14th in La Jolla. So some really great venues, some good events. And then, I forgot the women's retreat. That's the first couple of weeks in January. So make sure to get plugged in with that if you haven't had a chance to do that. So we got lots of stuff coming up this year. And today we're going to try to give away $800. But before we do that, I want to bring on today's guest. Let me introduce you. Here he is. This is Jedi, not to be confused with Jedi. His real name is Jedediah. There was a lot of conversation in the background going on between Kelly and I about how do we actually pronounce his name, but I've confirmed it's Jedi, just like Return of the Jedi, I assume, and that
Right.
kind of thing. So why don't you go ahead and tell us who you are and just introduce yourself for a minute?
Awesome. Hey, Dr. Phil, thank you so much. Yeah, as you were saying, Jedediah is actually my full name. It's a mouthful for a lot of folks. So, in for the last, I don't know how many years now, it's been shortened to Jedi. And
All right. All
first
right.
movie I ever saw was Star Wars. So I totally adopted it. It's cool because I tell people, hey, if you forget about me, just remember John Wick with a lightsaber, because my last name is Wick, and my uncle happens to be named John Wick. So it's a family thing too. So it's pretty cool. And yeah, man,
All
great
right.
to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And it looks like we've both chosen the same virtual background. So that's looks like we're sitting right next to each other, but we're not. Power of the internet. Tell us a little bit about your company, and we'll kind of dive into your product and that kind of thing.
Man, I love it. Thank you. Yeah. So our company is Signal Relief, and we have been on the market for about 5 years now, direct to consumer. What we really are is a technology. We're a biotech company, originated actually as a communications device for the Department of Defense. They had an initiative to ultimately save lives. They were trying to pare down a 100-pound satellite dish that these guys were jumping out of helicopters and airplanes with, to get it to where it was basically an invisible antenna. So our original technology was built for them. And in the process of doing that, our research and development teams realized that it was interacting with the human body in a really unique way. You know, we're getting reports from soldiers saying, my arms don't hurt. I'm not getting tired. My back doesn't hurt when I have my antenna on. So we had sewn it into their uniforms. And of course, $6 million of research and development later, in a few years, we were able to identify that the body, and this is known out there, but really in a scientific manner, right, to identify that the human body talks to itself. And there's the neurological component, and then there's the electromagnetic component. And in a short essence, and I have a presentation I can walk through too real quick. This is an antenna. And what it does is it receives the pain frequency of the electromagnetic signal that your body sends to itself. Like a sponge will absorb water, this in proximity to acute or chronic pain will absorb that pain signal, and it allows the brain to shift from sympathetic to parasympathetic status associated to that. So there's a lot of neat outcomes as a result of that. So Dr. Phil, if you'd like, I can pull up my presentation. I'm going to do that right here real quick and share a screen. So give me a moment.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. And can everybody see that okay?
I got to allow it first. Hold on just a minute. There we go. Now we got you.
Okay, excellent. So you can see that.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So let me apologize here. It's got me. Where is it? There it is. Okay. So essentially, our mission is to make drug-free pain relief available to everybody in need. And we've been a part of Cal Cairo since the June event, and I've been so grateful to get to meet a lot of you and work with you in person. And we have some of your doctors in our network that are now using this product. It's pretty fantastic. But ultimately, what we're here to do is provide a drug-free option that works and lasts. It doesn't wear off. So it works on every body type. We have no known contraindication around this, other than we do make two cautions, right? If somebody's nursing or pregnant, go see your physician, talk to them about this, let them know what you want to do. And the second thing to that is if somebody has a pacemaker, something that has its own electromagnetic signal, interfacing with the body, make sure to discuss that also with your physician. That said, as we have hundreds of people out there that use it in conjunction with both of those conditions, and we have great reports from that. But essentially, the goal is to provide that pain relief, right? So here's an image. Can everybody see this image of the gentleman, with the shirt off and the patch on his back? You see that clearly?
Yes, we can.
Okay. that's an example of how you would apply the patch if you have a shoulder issue, an upper back issue. And what it's doing is it's now absorbing. Imagine pain or tension around that area like water. That patch is absorbing that inflammation and pain signal. So this right here, this is Dr. Beth Dupree. She is our medical advisor director. She's an oncologist, cancer surgeon. She's renowned. She's been using this in all of her treatment protocols for the last number of years. She's a huge advocate of ours, and even now is being featured on some of our national linear television ads because she is so passionate about this technology and how it's helping people cancer treatment, during cancer treatment, and even very importantly, post-cancer treatment. It's a really, really neat relationship we have with Dr. Dupree. Just love her, want to give her props. She's amazing. This is the question we get a lot, what is it made of, right? So here's a quick scenario. It's a medical grade material. It's flexible, durable, it's latex free. So that's really important. Our patented technology, it again reroutes the pain without putting anything into the body. That is one of the most important things that I can advocate for, is this is not transdermal. We're not putting a frequency into the body. We're not jamming the frequency of the body. We're also not putting a topical cream or chemical, into the body. It simply allows the body to talk to it. Think of it like an antenna that's tuned to the signal your body is projecting from itself, and then it absorbs that. You can wear it anywhere and everywhere. I would recommend don't eat it. That's probably not a great idea. So with that said, here is a real-time example of what the patch does. Aside from eliminating pain, we did a clinical up in Canada with some doctors, and we had 71 patients go through this pilot program. All of them had excellent results. And this right here, what you're looking at, is one of those patients in the case study. This is in less than 30 minutes. There's 2 herniated discs that are represented in this image. And within less than 30 minutes, you can see the reduction of inflammation around that spinal issue, right? So you're seeing that, again, within 30 minutes. Imagine what that looks like an hour, 2 hours, 36 hours later, right? So on the right here is really a quick before and after. So you can see very clearly, the scope really of the inflammation pattern around that chronic injury. And then down below, you can see that it's, close to a 90% reduction in this case. It's pretty significant. And I advocate this for you as a chiropractor. Which one of these 2 backs would you want to adjust consistently and continually over a regimented period of time? Somebody who's dealing with inflammation, of course, we all know, they're sensitive, their body's in pain, their body's in, sympathetic status, it's fight or flight mode. So it makes treatment can be a little bit more difficult, or even in some cases less effective, right? So imagine helping your patient shift their body appropriately to now it's in a relaxed state. It's reducing inflammation around the area that is requiring treatment. And then you are able to apply the appropriate treatment protocols to that type of situation. So I love that we are an incredible advocate for what you guys are able to do as chiropractors. And this product, it's a wellness device, is an incredible tool that you're able to accomplish these kinds of results in addition to your traditional treatments. This is what we did in a double-blind placebo study. It gives you some data to look at. We had 85% relief around these specific issues. It was a knee study we did on knee pain. In some cases, bone on bone. Some of it was ligament related, muscle related. But all in all, we had an 85% reduction in pain after 72 hours. To dive into that a little bit, inside of that 15% demographic, some of those that did not experience relief were more of the severe long-term situations where they had chronic knee issues, bone on bone, knee replacement being required in a lot of those cases. And so, the data is still very strong to the fact that, man, this is highly effective. It doesn't just work sometimes, it works in most cases. So we're very proud of that. The program here, and then before I get back into answering some questions, showing you guys some product, I just want to talk to you real quick about what we are doing here. We've developed a wholesale partner program for practitioners, for physicians like you. And we believe it's a cause. We believe that we can get drug-free pain relief into every house in America by partnering with practitioners, networks of physicians like yourselves, and making sure that you guys are aware of this and have understanding around it, have access to it, so that you can help your patients in your communities. So what we're able to do is, of course, there's a business associated to this. So we provide this to you at a significant discount, unlimited, and there's no minimum requirement either. It's not like you have to order a certain amount every month. It's what you need when you need it. But it allows you to then purchase it at a significant discount. So all of our national advertising actually supports your enterprise in this space. So you're able to leverage that. We're not going to be in competition with you from a pricing standpoint. So it allows you to enhance your patient outcomes. Of course, that's the primary thing, right? It also gives you the opportunity to enhance your revenue and also expand your service offerings. I think about it like this. Imagine after their adjustment, they're able to take an element of that adjustment home with them so that they can continue to manage, what has happened. So, you get somebody who's in a situation where they've been in an accident. I have a close friend that was just rear-ended and had some really bad back and neck pain. And excuse me, all of a sudden my throat's locking up here. So forgive me for a second.
Well, while you take a second, if you need a drink of water or anything like that, feel free to get a drink of water. But
sorry about that, Dr. Phil. Yeah, all of a sudden.
I wanted to ask you a couple of questions here, and dive a little deeper into what was the technology that you were using to measure inflammation?
So they were doing a variety of different exposures, and one of them is thermography, along with other practices that they have to measure that. They were looking at a series of outcomes, right? That image that I'm sharing with you is specifically their proprietary thermography that they use, and this is sanctioned by the Canadian government. So this study was done with the Canadian government through some of their medical channels. They're very up there. They are very into holistic alternatives, the holistic naturopath approach to medicine, which I think is a great segue for the chiropractic community as well. There's great overlap there. And so inside of that study, there's a lot of different things that they were looking at. And in this specific case, what I'm presenting on were they had proprietary thermography, the technology they were using to measure inflammation specifically. How they accomplished that, I'm not an expert on that. I just know that that's specifically what they were looking at with those images and providing them to us, because they were extremely impressed and like, wow, this is amazing. Without any contraindication.
Would we be able to get access to that study that you're describing?
Yes, possibly. Here's the thing, like anything, there's people that we work with. We want to respect what their NDAs might be. However, the good news is we are actually in the works with them on providing real-time thermography images based on their technology. In fact, when I'm off this call, that's what I'm going to be working with is one of their devices that they've sent us, because we believe seeing often is believing, right? So to be able to have that in real time. So even when I'm out there with you guys, at some of these conferences, to be able to provide that in real time. Even for you, Dr. Phil, let's say we're there, I'll be able to take an image of you before, say, hey, go put this on, come back in an hour, run your 2 hours of the next day, and let's shoot you again and see what that looks like. So it's pretty cool.
So
we're excited about it.
It's not necessarily a published study, but it's more of like an internal study that they were able to do.
Currently at this point, yes, sir. At this point. Okay. Now, I will gladly reach out. If you would like, I will gladly reach out and see if I can share that. Would be happy to.
I'd love to see something like that. Because another question that was kind of coming to mind as we were talking about, I'm trying to wrap my head around how this is attenuating the signal. I don't know. Can you dive into the physiological aspects or the technology a little bit more? Are we dealing with like Rife frequencies and attenuation, kind of like cold laser attenuates? So I don't know if you can comment to that.
Well, so here's what's cool. For any of the doctors, medical.signalrelief.com. Go to that link, that URL, and there are many videos on there. There's even a published white paper presented on there. Personally, in my role as VP of Business Development, I try not to get too far off into that. That's where I trust you guys as experts, right? I love to have that conversation. That said, is in a nutshell, the nervous system, right? The nerve endings, they are responding to signal from the brain. What this does is it receives the signal from the body. And as a result, the body begins to receive a different signal from the brain that says calm down. That's essentially what happens, right? So inside of that white paper, they break it down a little bit more in depth, probably more to your guys' language I say analytical thinking. Nobody on this call is going to be a skeptic at all. I can guarantee you that. But no, I say doctors. I love doctors because they're professional skeptics for good reason, right? They're skeptics that have no reason being skeptical, but doctors and physicians like you and this amazing community are skeptics for good reason, and we appreciate that, right? So, but just know those answers are available. There's even a study that we did with the University of Pittsburgh that's available as well. And this is exciting since you asked. You mentioned at a government level, on the state level, you guys are involved in petitioning for appropriate legislation. Well, we're doing the same thing at a federal level, which ultimately is on your behalf as well. Really cool things have happened over the last 3 or 4 months in some of those relationships. And regardless of your political affiliation, I think a lot of us on this call can appreciate the intention, at least, behind what we'll say the MAHA movement or RFK Jr. is about, because they're looking at how do we justify and stabilize alternative solutions like chiropractic, like naturopathic approaches to medical care, right, as substantial and necessary. So they're advocating for that versus the traditional just take drugs and get surgery, right? So we are huge advocates of that. And to the chiropractic community's benefit, chiro is a big deal at that level. RFK himself is a big proponent for chiropractic treatment, and so we're really excited about that. In fact, we got one of these, and this is what I'm excited to share with you guys. This right here is our prototype on our new foot insert that's coming out. And RFK himself got to experience this because he has no pain in his body, but when he put this in his shoe, our CEO said, hey, do you have pain? And he's like, well, I think the idea is great. I don't really have any pain. I take great care of myself. And I see a chiropractor, I get adjusted, all that. He said, well, what about your feet? And he said, oh man, my feet are always on fire. I'm 70. I'm on my feet all the time. And so we were able to put one of these in his shoe, and instantly. So I've got a whole bunch of texts and things since then, back and forth. And the administration at that level, they are advancing, doing some clinicals with this technology because of that incident. So there's some really cool things happening on the back channel that I think I hope, I'm an optimist, come down the line that might help affect some of the legislation that you guys are involved in at a state level too. So really, really cool things happening in that capacity.
Very cool, man. Your results are speaking for themselves. It sounds like, different people respond differently to different things and to different people, right? And so, for me, I always just have to find my facts to be able to deliver the idea of what I'm trying to help people with a certain level of confidence and certainty. And it sounds like there's some good data out there. There was a question about where is the white paper again?
So medical.signalrelief.com. And that is an exclusive page that you guys have access to. The public doesn't have access to that. That's a portal built for you physicians. Okay. And there's a lot of help there. There's videos there. And that's also where joining our program, you would go there and sign up. And for those of you on this call, when you click through and you want to join our wholesale partnership program, it's going to say, $29.99 a month. Well, here's the good news. That's a security protocol that I put in place so that people don't come and spam and create fake accounts. But you put the code Jedi100 when it asks for a coupon, and it zeroes that out. So the account is actually free to you indefinitely. And that's what gets you guys as practitioners and physicians access to our product, our technology, It starts at $75 a unit, and it's all the way down to $65 a unit. So this retails when somebody buys our flagship product, they're buying it at $179.95 a pop, right? The cool thing is we warranty it for a year. So this isn't like something you buy and dispose of. This is actually something you buy and reuse over and over and over. I actually wear one on my right shoulder almost 24 hours a day because I broke my collarbone a few years back, and I've always got a little bit of a hitch in my neck and shoulder. So I wear that patch, and I've literally forgotten that I've ever had an injury. And so it's important to know that the investment that you make as a doctor is really significant to your benefit. And the margin on it is close to 70%. And then your patients, you guys can include it in a treatment protocol. You can sell it to them. You can demo them in the office just by holding it over the place of pain before, during, or after treatment. And it will work. It doesn't have to be direct to skin. So it will work just in proximity of where that pain is being originated from. And we often recommend, hey, move it around, especially on a joint. You might find that it actually, has a significant effect here versus like on this side. So there's some really cool things about this that, it's just common sense. Hey, get it in the right place, but it's designed to last. This is not something you throw away. It's like a pair of iPods. You wouldn't buy them, use them for a plane trip, and then toss them in the garbage. You charge them and you reuse them. This requires no batteries. There's no recharging necessary. Again, it is a passive technology that your body is talking to. It's really, really cool stuff.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. I got a couple of questions I'm going to ask you here, but we do got to bring the wheel up. We're getting short on time, and I know people want to see if we can give away some money today.
Love it.
And maybe you could pull up that medical website as well. That might be cool to show people, or maybe Tiffany can put up the QR code for that. Let's pull up the wheel and we'll try to give away some money today. We got 8 names to spin for. Thanks again, everybody, for watching the show this year. Super cool to be able to offer up this live broadcast and have guests on like yourself. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. When we spin the wheel, you have to be on the your name has to be drawn. You have to be on the broadcast, and you have to respond in the chat. We have about 30 seconds in between the spinning of the wheels that you can kind of answer some of these questions. Okay, Jedediah. So I'll ask you the questions here in just a second. Okay, but let's do name number 1. Dale Giesman, your name number 1. Let's see if you're here to collect your money. But there was a question about what is the lifespan of the device. You have 24 seconds.
Great question. So the lifespan of the device is like a good car. If you take care of it, it's going to last. We warranty it for a year, right? So just like there's a 100,000 mile warranty on a decent car, you're going to drive it longer than that if you take care of it. So same thing with this. We just recommend, don't eat it. Don't chew on it. Don't give it to your dog as a play toy because they'll definitely destroy it. But it is medical grade. It is not latex based, so it's very safe. It's, again, no contraindications. There is an adhesive component that comes with it. That's a techoderm is what that is. And it goes on the blue side, and then it sticks to your body if you need to. The cool thing is the adhesive even can stick to a material that's not super fuzzy. So you can put it in over an area directly to a piece of clothing as well.
Great. Okay. Let's do name number 2. Kelly Hoyt, you are name number 2. There was also a question here. It says needs a credit card, but discount code shows up. Discount code box shows after ?
Yeah. So at the top where it says have a coupon, click on that and put in the code Jedi100.
Okay. So if you've gone to the site, the medical site, this is the medical site, correct?
Yes, sir. Medical.signalrelief.com. It says sign up today. You'll click on that. And then where it says wholesale partner, $29.99 a month, click sign up. And on the top left, have a coupon. Click that, and it opens up the box. Put Jedi100 in there, and it eliminates the $29.99 monthly fee.
Good. Okay. All right. I don't see Kelly. Let's do name number 3. Christopher Spence. I know him. Christopher Spence, your name number 3. Let me just see if there's any other questions here in the chat that we haven't covered. Looks like we got some people scanning your QR code, so that's awesome. It sounds like you'll be getting some people reaching out to you here or signing up for the product and that kind of thing. And so that's always good. Where are you going to be at next?
I'm definitely going to be joining the upcoming conference. I'm going to be there. Kelly has been working with me. She's fantastic. We're actually a corporate sponsor with Cal Chiro. I am planning on attending the legislative day as well. So excited about some things coming down the pipeline. I would say this: it's really important for you guys to know that I have support on my side. We're here for you guys directly, specifically. So Jedi at signalrelief.com. And then Eli at signalrelief.com. He's my account manager. He's amazing to work with. He'll help set up your account, help you with orders, whatever, answer questions. And we have an amazing client care support system as well, call center for your patients. When they call in and have questions, they're not coming to you, bombarding you with questions. They can come to us. And because they're your patient, your client, we're there to support them as well. And again, we have a 45-day money-back guarantee. The way we do that for you as a doctor is because you're getting an amazing.
Hang on to that for just a second, bud. Remember, I got to spin the wheel 8 times here today, so limit your responses to 30 seconds. Let's do name number 4. Justin Javian, your name number 4. All right, go ahead. Finish your thought.
So the 45-day money-back guarantee, we want to support you guys that you're not having to deal with all that. If a patient brings back a product within 45 days, we replace that product for you. So you're not out the money. They get their money back. They're happy. We take care of it. The one thing that we ask is that you, if they want the warranty enforcement, that you let them know to register. Everything that they get comes packaged with all of the information. Each unit's packaged very nicely, and it gives them the access to our team so they can work that out with us directly. But my team is here directly for you guys. We're here to help anytime. My direct cell phone number is on here as well. So text me, call us, email. We want to help.
All right, let's do name number 5. You can see that timer, right, that says 30 seconds on it?
No, sir.
All right, name number 5 is Nicholas Pedroza. Nicholas Pedroza, your name number 5. I have a question about Jovi. They want us to talk about Jovi real quick. You got 20 seconds.
Yeah, so the Jovi is our female product. It's the same technology, but it's designed for the women because it looks cuter. It's a different color, and it helps with menstrual pain and endometriosis pain. We're in clinicals on endometriosis right now. Very cool.
Awesome. That would definitely be a great product to talk more about maybe at the pediatric conference coming up. But let's do name number 6. Name number 6. Stephen Gabe, you are name number 6. Yeah, it sounds like that might be something that's a really good fit for like our pediatric conference that's going to be down south this year. Moving the location just a little bit, but certainly that's something that I think might be a good product to talk about down in that neighborhood too.
I love it. Hey, and Doc, I see the countdown now. It's behind the little QR code. I wasn't seeing it. I apologize about that.
No worries, man. I don't want to cut you off. I just, the listeners are hungry for the $800. We're trying to give away $800 today. So that's, we're getting close to a whole rack here for Vegas. So, all right. That was name number 6. I don't see Steven. I think we can do name number 7. We're not doing too bad here today. So Gerardo Rodriguez, you are name number 6, or name number 7, excuse me. Name number 7 was Gerardo Rodriguez. Thank you, Marissa, for keeping me straight on the number of names that we've spun. But yeah, it's been fun to have you on here, man. And I like your energy and I like your enthusiasm. I really appreciate the fact that you guys have been a corporate sponsor this year and come out to our events and things of that nature. So thank you very much. Hopefully you enjoyed your time on the broadcast here and that kind of thing today. I don't see Gerardo Rodriguez on here. Let me just double check the chat. I was just making sure we had all of the questions in the chat. All right. I believe we are up to name number 8, which means if we don't have a winner, that means we'll be back in the new year to try to give away $900. So Stay tuned. If we don't give away the money, but let's do name number 8. Vern England. I know Vern. Vern England, you are name number 8. Let's see if you're on the broadcast with us here today. But thanks everybody for being on with us. Thanks, Jed. Jed, I might just call you Jed. Does anybody call you Jed?
My siblings only.
Oh, all right. I kind of Jed just rolls off the tongue for me. So, but yeah, it was very nice to meet you more in person and get a chance to know a little bit more about your product. It looks like you're going to have some people interacting with you because a bunch of people have scanned your QR code. So, thanks everybody for being on this week. Again, we'll see you back in the new year. Enjoy your holidays. And we'll see you at some of the upcoming events here pretty soon, huh, Jed, in March and that kind of thing. So
yes, sir.
Yep. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you after the holidays. Take care.